Hey everyone, Roxabox90 here with a video on Planeswalker art. But before we get to my musings about that, I'll just quickly say Born of the Gods has its official information posted up on the Daily MTG page. So if you guys are interested in just knowing about this set, the news is out there. We have, it's going to be second of the set. It's a small set. It's going to be February, mostly March 1st game day. And pretty much just give the general information and who is involved. So that's not really the point of this video, I just thought I'd mention it quickly. And I'll also mention quickly that, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this yet, but I found this on a spoiler website saying that this is Nyx, the goddess of the night sky, which is not necessarily, one of the colored gods, but it's pretty cool art, and I really like what they did with the stars and everything. Don't know if it's real or not, but it looks pretty cool, so I hope it is. Anyway, the real reason the real point of this video is Planeswalker art. Now, why did I bring this up? Well, it's pretty much because of this article that was posted on Garruk on the Daily MTG site. So, it's posted a little while ago, but I just found it. And it talks about the making of Garruk, just in terms of the artwork. So they give the general definition of the Planeswalker Garruk Wildspeaker, stepping out of dense wood, etc., etc. The focus is on Garruk Wildspeaker. Why is this important? Well, it's interesting because the artist came up with a bunch of sketches, and then we know what the final card is, but this is the art that was submitted, and a lot of it is cropped out. So you see, this is the full art that he made. You have these, I think that's a bear, and is that an ox or some sort of boar maybe in the background, and you have Garruk. He is the focus of the image. He's centered, but if you look at Magic the Gathering cards, the art center, it's actually kind of limiting the border of the frame, and since it must focus in on the Planeswalker dramatically so that the Planeswalker is the only element that really sticks out, they cut most of the picture frame. And the original artwork, I think, is absolutely fabulous. It's definitely a lot more interesting, and it definitely makes him feel more in nature based and at home. Here he's kind of just, he's very kind of weird pose, and I never was thrilled with the Garruk or Beast artwork, but I see even more just how much the art loses by being removed from its setting that the artist designed it for. Why is this kind of important? Well, I was just generally thinking about, well, what do other Planeswalkers do? Did they ever have this problem with other Planeswalkers? So I couldn't find every single Planeswalker a full art image, but let's just run through a couple I found. So this is the full art Sorin image, designed again to focus on the Planeswalker. But here, the background isn't exactly that important. If you look at the actual art, the art takes about here, this little square area, which doesn't really lose much because the background is very shaded in gray and the focus is obviously just on Sorin, and it works. Same thing with Tibalt. Yeah, you could have this lava and everything, but it's really the crag and his fire flame from his hand, and those are in the frame of the Planeswalker. They kind of just cut out the volcanic river, which doesn't hurt so much again because the focus is so much on him. He's kind of the only important aspect of the image. Everything else is just general background. Same thing with Gideon. If you slice off around here-ish, which is where the art does, then you basically, there's not much going on in the background. There's he's just standing on, ground. There's a little bit of mountain terrain, but mostly it's just this blue blank sky, and the centerpiece is obviously the Planeswalker. Same thing with Sarkhan the Mad, which there's this random splash work in artwork, but really they hone in very much on the Planeswalker, and you don't lose a lot of the background. I mean, I never knew that you had the, dragon, this dragon here. I didn't even know if that was on the art of the card. I didn't really notice it, but then again, it's so it's so clear that you don't really see it. The focus is obviously just on the Planeswalker and not much else. But look at the Garruk. The Garruk here, he really is part of this image. He's part of this background frame. And when you slice him on his own, there is something lost, I think, in the frame. It makes him feel very out of place because you see here he's facing this way, but you don't really see, you don't really see this sort of scale of what he's looking at. His hands kind of just caught, meaning they kind of just they had to force it instead of including this, the tree. They couldn't do that because you'd have the bear involved, and it would be jarring. So instead they sliced it right at the hand, which makes it kind of awkward because he's gripping, but they cut the tree that he's gripping, which doesn't have nearly the same epic scale they have here. And yeah, I just think the artwork loses a lot by slicing so much of the artist's design. I think they should have just, told the artist, rework it so that you can have a similar pose, similar whatever, but rework it so the art isn't this way. But just quickly cropping it and fitting it into the frame, I think it took away something from the Planeswalker that a lot of other Planeswalkers, I don't think, had that same problem. But really, what do you guys think about this? Maybe you can find more artworks of other Planeswalkers and see if it is generally true, but feels like the first Planeswalker that really was awkward for me. Let me know your thoughts about this discussion below in the comments section as well. Check out my channel sponsors in the description of the video, and as always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.